talk about how dark the actual story behind The Little Mermaid actually is. But her sisters are not like the mermaids that you see in the movie. No, they are more like sirens, luring sailors to their death. So it honestly makes sense at the beginning of the movie whenever they're trying to like spear a mermaid on why they would be doing that. And after these shipwrecks, it wasn't Ariel who would try to collect things from this, it was actually her sister. But Ariel did have one thing, and it was the marble carving of a prince. And it was set in a beautiful garden of red flowers that were said to look like the sun. And in the book, it's described as the only thing that Ariel cares about. Well, seeing Eric for the first time is actually pretty similar to the movie. There's a ship, there's fireworks, he's celebrating his birthday. Storm comes, and thankfully Ariel is there to save him. Well, after this, she ends up getting a little bit obsessed with the idea of mortality. So she ends up going to her grandmother and she's like, hey, I just saved this man's life, but if I hadn't, would he have died in the same way that mermaids do? This is whenever her grandmother tells her, I think one of the most morbid things I've ever heard. Grandmother tells her that humans don't die in the same way that mermaids do. Whenever a human dies, they actually have souls and they're able to ascend into heaven. But whenever a mermaid dies, they don't have a soul. They can live to be 300 years old, but after they pass away, they just transform into sea foam. Essentially, they just cease to exist. However, there's a catch, and if a mermaid can get a human to fall in love with her, she is able to actually have a soul. So Ariel's motive is not just about a man, like this is some serious stuff. Ariel goes to visit the local sea witch, and as she approaches, she notices that her cave is made out of the bones of humans. So I feel like you already know that this is a bad idea. Like a little bit of a tidbit, instead of Flotsam and Jetsam, Ursula actually has these little sea worms who she calls chicken in the actual story. The agreement that she makes in the story is so much worse than the movie.